The 15 Americans exhibition, curated by Dorothy Miller in 1952 at the Museum of Modern Art, was really one of the first instances where abstract expressionism received its full sort of institutional embrace. And Dorothy Miller was critical in getting Still to participate. And the only reason he participated was because he got his own room to himself where no one else's paintings could be shown. But he also felt that it was important for people to see his work in that room dedicated to his paintings, but in context with all of the other contemporary artists that were shown. After I looked at the archival database online, I was able to go into the archives and look at the actual letters that Still and Dorothy Miller wrote back and forth to each other, and that was just seeing their handwriting on the typewriter paper really kind of made those pieces come alive in a way. The paintings in this gallery are not the exact paintings that were in the 15 American show. A couple of them are replicas, so they look almost like the paintings that were in the 15 American show, but the other paintings resemble the paintings that were there. Often Still made replicas of his paintings, especially if they left his studio for another home. And these allowed Still to continue to explore similar colors and forms and to live with the paintings for just a little bit longer. And so this is really a rough recreation of the 15 Americans show. The club was just a loft on the fourth floor of a building in Greenwich Village that the artists rented. Artists like Willem de Kooning and Franz Klein, Ad Reinhardt were members, the critic Harold Rosenberg, the avant-garde composer John Cage and Morton Feldman were members. Still was not a member. He didn't like joining things, but he did keep abreast of what they were talking about. And so the artists would come together every week, usually on a Friday night, and they would invite people to come and talk. Philosophers from NYU, people who studied psychology and myth-making, mathematicians came and talked. They played records and had concerts. So it was really just a time for artists to come together and kind of just talk about things that they were interested in. In the late 1940s and early 1950s, a lot of artists in New York were experimenting with black and white. A lot of the artists at the club, especially Willem de Kooning, Franz Klein, Robert Rauschenberg, but also Clyfford Still. For many of the artists, they talked about using black and white house paint because it was cheaper than oil paint. And that sort of drove their exploration of black and white. For Still, I don't think it had quite the financial undertone, but I think, using the most basic colors, how do you make a painting, right? How do you make a composition that's only black paint or only white paint? And I think that's a real challenge for artists, and a lot of them were exploring how to do that at the time. Still used a lot of black in his paintings, and he really felt that black was a generative painting, a warmth. It didn't have a negative connotation at all. And I think he really tried to explore ways to make that warmth and generative feeling felt in the viewer.